Welcome to this episode of ACG's Growth TV. I'm Katie Mulligan, Content Director for ACG. Today's episode is part of a series about performance commerce that we're producing with Smith Commerce, a digital commerce agency that helps companies optimize people, processes, and technologies to deliver a frictionless buying journey for customers and to drive better business outcomes. Throughout the series, we'll explore ways to deliver value faster and smarter and outperform the competition in the process. This installment of the series will focus on digital growth. And for that, I'm joined by Rob Miller, Smith's Customer Growth Officer. Rob, thanks for joining me.
No, thanks for having me.
What are some common things customers get wrong as they work toward better e-commerce outcomes?
I think the starting point always is around what is their customer journey? What does that customer of theirs want to do and not want to do? And far too often we have customers jumping into what they think their customers want to do, where they think their customer wants to go. And if you really start quickly with that view of the customer up front, you then can start tackling the right problems at the right pace with the right analytics. So definitely start in first and foremost at the customer journey and how can you improve that?
Mm-hmm. And when you're working with clients, Rob, are there any other ways you steer them in the right direction to help them, get to the e-commerce outcomes that they're shooting for?
Yeah, the other area we dive in quickly on is looking at their analytics today. So please don't go out and build something tomorrow without looking at what's happening today. But more importantly, then aligning to what your KPIs are. So once again, going back to your point of view of how do we get to market faster, but how do we get to market faster with the right results? And the right results in this case typically lie around loyalty and how do I have that customer coming back in a cadence or at the right time for the right products or services.
And you mentioned earlier analytics and KPIs. So it sounds like data is pretty important here. Can you talk about the role of data in cultivating better e-commerce outcomes?
We can. So the idea of using data is twofold. One is on the performance of your system or how you're growing or how you're reducing that friction. The other portion of data is around how do I create a personalized experience for that customer and measure it. And if I do that right, I can then start to automate it correctly. So the worst thing about advancing in a personalization era is not doing it with automation, because you and I could spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to make something highly personalized versus 9 days out of 10 with today's computing power, the tools and tricks of the trade, it's all there for us to take advantage of.
Great. Well, some great insights, Rob. I really appreciate you sharing with those. And I know your colleagues will be commenting on other aspects of the time to value that we're talking about here later on in this series. But we'll leave it there for today and appreciate you joining me on Growth TV.
Thank you.